Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, unapologetically Angela. Thank you so much for joining me. With computers, we have to be patient with them because they're not going to do what they are going to do until they are ready. So now we are up and ready to go. We are still in Women's History Month. And this month, I am speaking to women who have inspired me, who have awed me, who have motivated me in some way. And this woman has done all of the above. I will never, never forget the first time I saw her perform. I was like, that doesn't even look like the same person. She brings such a beautiful, large persona to the stage, and it's so classy. But then I had an opportunity to get to know her, and she is such a genuinely sweet and caring person. And I love that we are multidimensional women. We're not just one thing. We can bring on so many characters. But when someone allows you to see who they truly are, that means a lot to me because that speaks to my character and it speaks about the authenticity of the person. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to have an opportunity to have a, kind of personal conversation with the amazing, with the dynamic Lady Doo Moi. Hello.
Hello.
Gosh, this hair. I absolutely love this. I'm so used to you being blonde.
I know. I had to. We had 2 years where we weren't able to have other people work on our hair, and
Mhm.
I had to make a decision. So I let it go, and it's healthy, and
Love
it's
it.
long, and
Yes,
it's
it
a
is.
change, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes, 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 it is. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Mm, Thank you for having me.
So let's talk. Let's just talk. Are you from Memphis?
I grew up in Pensacola, Florida. I
Okay.
moved here in 1991, and
Oh,
so I guess you can say I am from Memphis, but I was not born here.
okay, okay, okay. So have you always been extremely creative, liking to play with colors, dress
Gosh,
up?
yes. Extremely.
Wow.
Um, my mother made wedding gowns. She was a seamstress, and we made Christmas gifts or Christmas ornaments together. We always did something together that was creative. She was extremely creative. I actually had her high school art teacher was my high school art teacher, and we got to see Mr. Bazin together, and um, it, he was like, "You guys are just a creative pack." We've always done a lot of creating together. So lots of art, lots of drama. Um, it's there.
Okay, so you've been on the stage acting?
Yes.
Wow, you did this in school?
In high school, yes.
Okay, can you remember your first play?
No. Not at all. I just know my first drama teacher in high school was Mary DaCosta, and she was one of the most amazing ladies I've ever met in my life. She truly opened up a whole new world for me, and taught me so much about myself. And we would do all kinds of fun little exercises, and she'd be like, "What's your favorite food? Act like your favorite food." And at that time, it was a toaster strudel. So just silly stuff. And she taught us how to improvise and how to do things that were on the spot very fast. Do fry like bacon, or do this, or
Oh,
just do
wow.
silly stuff, and just exercises on how to she was just teaching us how to be us, and it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed being on stage. Being on stage was just where I shined, and I absolutely loved it. I was definitely a I was meant to be a performer at a very young age. I think I would say my first play would be when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and it was for my mom. And she used to buy me little nightgowns for Christmas with a robe and a little dress. And I would dance for her in the living room and sing Cher songs during Sonny and
Sure.
Cher. Yes, absolute favorite, and just all kinds of fun, silly things for her. And
Nice. 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 So do you feel like the things that your it was just your theater teacher?
yes,
Do you think that you have used those throughout life on and off the stage?
yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay, cool.
She, we actually we went to theater conventions. She had a bright yellow Cadillac, and we would go to her house, and she had a pool, and we'd have theater sessions in her backyard, and she had animals, and just she was just an all-around fun person, and just taught us a lot about life.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So with all of that, how did you end up or where did your interest come from in cosmetology?
Um well, I really wanted to go to school to become a marine biologist at first because I grew up in Florida, and I really love whales and sea life, and that's what I thought I was going to do. And I decided in high school that when we moved to Memphis in my senior year, I wasn't going to ever be a marine biologist because Latin and all these things were really hard, and I just didn't. When you're a creative person, sometimes that doesn't translate very well for you, and
Right.
I just was not good at the English part and writing papers. I could talk to you all day long, but I could not put it on paper. So trying to do that was really, really hard. So I was like, well, I'll go to school and I'll become a drama teacher.
Okay.
And I was like, well, maybe to get into college, maybe I should find something else to do. And a friend of mine was going to beauty school.
Mhm.
And she's like, why don't you come and go to beauty school, and then you can work your way through college by doing cosmetology. And I was like, oh, sure. So I signed up. I went to cosmetology school and ended up only getting my manicuring license first and trying to go to UT Knoxville for a semester. And well, I had a whole lot of fun and did not make it through college. And I came back home to Memphis.
Okay. Understood. Okay. So then you went back to cosmetology school?
Yes, I went back to cosmetology school. I met my husband right before then. That was in 1994. And I met Hank, and I decided that I was gonna go back to the cosmetology school and get my full license. And then we got married, and here I am.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I know that you take really good care of your clients. I've just heard you speak about respecting their time and their space. Do you enjoy this?
Yes, I do. I've been doing hair for a very long time now, and I enjoy speaking with people and opening up and having, taking care of somebody as a client, and they become your friends. And
Mhm.
after 15, 16, 17 years of seeing somebody in your chair every 4 to 6 weeks, they become a part of your family almost,
Right.
because you're always checking in and you're always catching up, and it's a lot of fun to get to know people that you normally wouldn't hang out with. And there's so many ladies and gentlemen that I've been doing over the years that are just, I absolutely enjoy them to death. I mean, we just have the best time sitting in the chair talking and catching up and seeing what they have going on in their life.
Okay. So I think everything that I know that you do involves you interacting with other people. Are there ever moments when you're like, no more people? I want to just,
Yes. Yes, definitely. I gotta have some me time every now and then.
yeah.
Um, when I'm in my girly room creating, I really like to have me time, and it's just me creating and creating costumes and getting frustrated at myself because I didn't take time to do it properly and have to start over. And then that's me just doing me in this room. And it's always kind of crazy, messy. That's why it's so dark in here.
Oh,
You can't see the creative genius's craziness in
okay. So, how did you actually get into burlesque?
here. Okay, so 20 years ago, Hank and I went to California, and it was our first time to California. We started off in San Diego, and we went to Lollapalooza, and we traveled up into LA, and we went shopping, and I saw a poster, a little flyer for Dita Von Teese doing a show at the Playboy Mansion.
Mm.
And it's her standing in the moon, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I was so intrigued by the look and the I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And when we came home, I started looking her up and learning more about what she did. And of course, I was I was like, I got to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And it took a lot, but I a lot of research, a lot of talking about wanting to do it, and then I didn't know of anybody here in Memphis at the time that was doing it. And some of my clients had told me, "Oh, there is a burlesque troupe in Memphis," and I was like, "Really?" And I found out that they were going to have auditions, and I auditioned, and I was accepted, and I was only with them for about a month, and then I was told I needed to go out on my own because I was a little too creative for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Creative?
Yeah, a little too many ideas going. So, I
Okay.
think they wanted a little bit more control over what was happening.
Okay.
So, I went out on my own, and I started creating acts, and I'd already started putting some stuff together before I had tried out for them, and not getting very far because I didn't know how to create some of the things. That I didn't know how to make a pasty. And during the meetings with them, I learned how to create a pasty, and I figured out how to use the right glues, because at that time we did not have YouTube the way we have it now, where you can get on there and learn about anything that you possibly ever would want. And I had read books and read everything about burlesque I could possibly read, but they didn't really give you a lot of details about how to create pasties and how to create the costumes. And I knew a lot about costuming from my mom and from theater, but when you sit down and you actually try to create something that you really had no idea what you were doing, I was just like scratching my head going, what am I doing? So it was a lot of trial and error. And I finally figured out what I was doing. And I came up with a couple of really cool acts that I really, really enjoyed. And I still do one of them. It's a balloon act. And Sally Rand was famous for doing her balloon act. And I just thought that was the most beautiful thing ever. And of course, pink is my favorite color, and it's my signature color. So I created a pink bubble champagne balloon act that was just absolutely beautiful. So everything's
So,
pink.
so talk to me about what kind of mental process do you go on show night?
Let's see.
I've seen you here, but I've also
Oh,
seen you so calm and relaxed.
because I'm usually nervous for the month before big shows, because I'm sitting in this room trying to create the things that I have going through my head and trying to make it look the way that I want it to look and look flattering on the body. And
Right.
it's sometimes sewing and creating doesn't always look the way you want it to. So
Mhm.
there's a crunch time before a show where you're frantically putting rhinestones on things and trying to make it look just like the picture you have in your head. And usually by show day, I finally have everything done, and I've got my my act in my head and I know what I'm going to do. And I've listened to my song 5,000 times. And so by show day, I'm like, okay, I'm nervous, but I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to nail it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I visualized it so much and I've practiced so much. I'm going to go in here and it's just going to be smooth. And a lot of just trying and patience until you step on stage. And then once you step on stage, a whole new person comes out. And that's the persona that is Lady Doo Moi. And I think she's a little cooler than I am sometimes. And she's definitely got it together sometimes, a little bit better than I do. And she's a lot of fun.
Well, that leads me to my next question that popped into my head. So honestly, how many personalities do you think you have?
Oh, well, I am a Gemini.
Okay, well, all right.
So there's a lot of stuff going on in there. But I think there's two in there.
Distinct ones, yeah. Okay.
And there's the good stage persona that's very sweet and innocent, and then there's the dirty one, like so that usually has some kind of latex or something involved, or full body suits that you can't see anything but eyes and weird fun kind of fetish things.
I love it. So when you come off the stage and the show is over, what is your aftercare like?
Aftercare. Well, we used to have a lot of drinks afterwards to calm yourself, because you're so hyped when you come off stage and you're so excited and you're just like, yay, I finally did it. I got that out of my system. And now I'm like, yay, what am I going to create next?
Right.
But aftercare is usually after your glitter crash, just taking a couple of days and just getting back to myself and getting back to work, concentrating on husband and wife and my career, and getting back, and just it's just a
yeah. So has Hank, well, I'm sure at this point he's gotten used to it, but was there ever a point where that was kind of the performance and coming back home to norm?
Sometimes. I mean, it just depends on how big our production was. There's been production, like all of our Halloween productions have always been pretty big, and it takes a couple of days to finally get everything put away, and sometimes it doesn't ever get put away. But the attic looks like a complete, there's a whole theater in my attic. And there's champagne glasses and Halloween stuff and Valentine's Day stuff and things made out of cardboard. And, I don't like to go up in the attic, so Hank has to do it all.
Oh, wow. Okay. So now you're doing now that COVID is over.
Yes.
How did that affect your creativeness? How did you get that out when we couldn't get out and about?
It was hard. It was very hard. As a hairstylist, we were sent home for 3 months, and 3 months of being extremely creative and being stuck at home and not being able to talk to people on a daily basis, and Burlesque can be completely being shut down and not being able to. I could have used my time better if I would have concentrated, but there was always, your brain is looking at the TV and all of the doom and gloom, and I just didn't stop. I was obsessed with watching it and figuring like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Is this ever going to end? And I really wish I would have used my time wisely and been upstairs creating and doing the things I should have been doing. Instead, I was just panicking, and it was really hard. And I know a lot more now about it, so I feel a lot better. But for a while there, I didn't know if I was even going to go back to doing hair, and I was scared to walk into a salon, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never going to do burlesque again. I'm just it was a whole lot of never, 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 and never, and oh, that didn't happen. I had to get back out there.
Yeah. 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 So, what was the first show you did after the world opened back up?
I performed at Hernandez Hideaway with Velvetina's Blue Moon Review for
Mm,
Elvis Week, and it
nice.
was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So, if you could give advice to, again, I'm sure there's so many women that want to do burlesque and they have these preconceived taboo notions. What advice would you give about wanting to just try it out?
I would definitely suggest do research, um, figure out exactly what you want to perceive yourself as, and you need to go to shows. You need to. I mean, I didn't go to a burlesque show until it was a while. I had performed before I ever actually went to a burlesque show on stage. It was strange going out and performing and not actually going to a burlesque show. And I finally went to a burlesque show, and I did get to go see Dita Von Teese in New Orleans. And then shortly after that, I started working with another burlesque troupe, and you have to coming up with your whole persona is a big thing, and how you want to be perceived on stage, and coming up with ideas and acts, and that's so hard. And it's so much easier if you actually go and watch things. I watched a lot of stuff on YouTube, and it just getting to know the performers, and going and being a part of the show. I've always told people that have ever wanted to come and be a part of it, come and be a stage kitten, and
Yeah.
come and see how it works, because you really need to see what goes on backstage as much as you need to see what's going on stage, because the backstage can be just as hard as on stage, especially if you're in a very small room with 5 or 6 people trying to get dressed. Very small rooms with lots of naked, sweaty bodies is a lot of fun, but it can be very stressful.
Yes. 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 I agree. And that kitten work is work.
Yes, it
It is
is.
work, and you earn your keep. I remember. I remember. So yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, what have you learned in your journey with burlesque about your body?
Well, if you think you're ever going to be the size that you want to be, you're never going to be that size. You're just going to have to go out there and work with what you got, because this is what you got to work with. And I always used to think in my head, oh, if I lose 10 pounds, I'll look great, and I had to stop that and just say, this is me. This is how you're getting it. I'm going out there. I don't care. And you just got to learn how to accept yourself. And for being a little on the plus size has always been like, you do burlesque? And it's like, yeah, I do. I do burlesque. I do. I get out there and I show my goods. This is it. This is how you
Yes.
get me. And it's it's a liberating feeling when you go on stage and you accept yourself and you take everything off and you show everybody,
Yeah.
this is me, and
Yeah.
this is me. You're getting the raw me. This is what I enjoy. This is my passion. This is what I really, really love doing. I love performing for people, and I love showing off. So
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
see
you
all
do it
of
with
it.
so much confidence. I mean, I was like, she can't believe you were ever nervous just
Oh
because
gosh, I'm
of how
always
you can push
nervous.
yourself.
If you're, I believe that if you're not nervous before you go on stage, then it's not right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
There's got to be butterflies. You have to have it. You have to have that feeling before you go on stage. And I've always had to like do my mantra, slow down, listen to your music, don't take your clothes off too fast. And
Yeah.
that helps keep me from being so super nervous. And I just repeat that to myself. And that helps hold the nerves back some. And I just feel like you have to have that to, and I even did that in theater when I was in high school. It's like, I got super nervous and I stumbled all over my words. I was not good at memorizing things and I would just be like blah 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 blah. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. What did I do? And oh my goodness, those days. I think one of my very first productions in high school was Sin in the South, and I was Violet Lou, a Southern Belle. Oh, it ended terribly.
Oh my God. Oh goodness.
Memorizing lines was not for me,
Gotcha.
but I can go on stage and
Dance.
dance.
Wow. That is
Dance. I love
crazy.
it.
Man. Last question. So how many names did you go through before you got
Woo!
this?
Oh, a few.
Okay.
So I wanted to incorporate my nickname as a child, and it's Dara Doo is my mom's nickname for myself, and I love Do, and I just was like, I gotta figure out how to do it, and I wanted to be French.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be French because I love everything French and Paris and all of that was just like I want to be French. And I had shoulder and elbow surgery many years ago when I finally got to um, uh, being a troupe and they were like, okay, come up with a name. And because I was just going by Do at the time. And then a friend of mine had said Lady Doo. And I was like, Lady Doo just kind of sounds weird. It doesn't really, it's not it. And I kept trying to find something. So I pulled out the computer and we started going through French words and Lady Doo Moi, Lady Moi. I mean, it finally came out to Lady Doo Moi. And I was like, well, that's kind of sensual and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of sexy, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just such a play on words and it just worked so well. I was like, that is it.
That is
And
it.
that is it. And it's worked out very well. And
Yeah, it fits
I
the
absolutely
persona
love it.
that you give. It really does. It really does. Very well. Thank you. I so appreciate you taking time to let me tap into your world. I really do appreciate it. I
Thank
was very
you.
serious when I saw you were one of the two ladies that I saw perform that said, "Oh my God, I want to do this." And to have an opportunity to perform on the same stage that you've been on has been amazing. And
Oh,
thank you so much
you
for
are
just
an
sharing
amazing
that with
lady
me.
as well. I
Thank you,
enjoy
thank
your
you.
company and this has been a lot of fun.
Good. Well, I hope to get out and see you. Where are you performing?
Um, my next performance is this weekend at Blind Bear for Velvetina's Speakeasy, and we do have a Halloween show booked this year.
Mm.
So watch out. We're coming
Yeah.
back.
Yes. You have never been to a Halloween show like this one because it is so much going on in one place. It's unreal.
Yes,
So I
we're
am
coming back.
excited about that. Hank, go ahead and get in the attic.
Definitely.
Thank you again, love. I hope to see you again very, very
Yes,
soon. Thank
definitely.
you. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Mwah. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm a creative by heart, so I'm really just drawn to people who are just radically creative. And she is one of those people. She brings color, she brings people together who are just as extreme as she is, and just not even with performance, but encouraging them, like she said, to accept who you are, go and present yourself the way you want to be seen. And so I've really learned a lot just being in her company. And I just thought this month is the month again that I'm going to celebrate the people that have taught me things that I've taken with me throughout life. You know, we as women, different shapes, sizes, colors, preferences, we are amazing people, and we deserve an opportunity to have the light shown on us in a positive way, in a creative way, where people can love us not just one dimensionally, but who we are in so many facets. So thank you so much again, Lady Doo Moi, for gracing my platform and just sharing your spirit with us. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much. I hope you find something to do this week that is creative. Feed that creative spirit. And hopefully, I'll see you again next Tuesday. Peace, love, and exploration. Explore something, do something different, do something that you've thought about doing, but you've never done. You will be amazed at how you feel. Have a great night, guys.